Thank you very much, Craig. Yes, welcome along to the Stirling Reserve One Day International Series presentation. First up, it's our presentation of the Sens Player of the Series. Not a huge sample size, unfortunately, this series, Tom Latham, but that 145 not out at Eden Park and an incredible stand with your captain. You must still think back to that only a few days ago and think what a wonderful occasion and a great innings too.
Yeah, it was obviously a nice evening for obviously the whole group, but personally as well. So, I guess you look at times like that and I guess you can reflect nicely, and obviously it's a bit of a shame that we didn't get any play in the last two games, but I thought overall we've played some great cricket this series, and I guess nice to get the series win.
Someone hasn't paid the power bill here at the Richard Hagley Sports Centre because the lights have gone out, but we'll get that sorted out. It's quite nice. We've all been kept in the dark a little bit in this series anyway with the weather and the constant threat of weather. There we go, that's better. Tom, we can see your face now. Look, how did the team feel about wanting to get on with the job today? Because it looked like you put yourselves in a pretty good position. Yeah,
I thought we bowled fantastically well this morning. I think obviously winning the toss, there was a little bit of assistance off the wicket, and I thought the guys just had a great length and managed to get a little bit out of the surface, and obviously restricting them to about 220 was obviously a great effort on our behalf, and I guess the way Finn and Devon went out and played, I thought they absorbed a little bit of pressure at the start and then managed to put them under a bit of pressure at the back end of the power play, and I think the way Finn played probably uncharacteristic in terms of the way he usually goes about things, but I thought he absorbed a lot of pressure and played beautifully, and obviously it was a great start from those two.
You get a great view of things when you're keeping, and that pitch was not without its demons, was it?
Yeah, obviously it was moving around a little bit, and I think sometimes when we hit the right lengths where we can certainly get enough out of the wicket, and I certainly think all bowlers did that today, and even Daryl Mitchell coming on and doing a roll into the wind, and Milne as well I thought did a fantastic job. So it's obviously nice when the wicket does off a little bit and our guys can get a little bit off the surface.
It seems there's a great spirit too between these two sides. I know that the weather hasn't cooperated, but you seem to get on very, very well. Has that been the case for the whole tour?
Yeah, I think so. Obviously I've come in for the one day part, but I think a lot of the guys have played especially IPL together, so I think the banter between the guys is great. So I think the more we play with each other around the world, I think those friendships build, and I think you've probably seen that tonight.
Surya Kumar turning up to field in a beanie, we don't see that very often. As a Cantab, Tom, did you look upon that with a little bit of a giggle?
It wasn't that cold, was it? No. Obviously it's not too cold for me, but obviously from where they're from, it's certainly a lot colder for them.
Well, there's been plenty of rain, but again, that 145 not out, you are the Sens Player of the Series, and Ravi Shastri is here to present you with a cheque from Sens and a trophy to mark the occasion. Tom Latham, congratulations. Thanks, Tom. Thank you, Ravi. Shikhar, unfortunate again. You guys must be looking forward to seeing some sunshine now.
Yeah, absolutely. Going to go to Bangladesh, and hopefully the weather going to be better over there. Yeah.
Big challenges ahead for this team. What have you guys learned? I know there's not enough cricket really to get too much information, and certainly the information that you wanted on this tour. But has the team learned certain things about some of the personnel and what you want to try and do when you're playing your cricket?
Yep, absolutely. I feel that we got a young unit, and for sure, like if I talk about bowling, they must have learned that to bowl in a bit more good length area. I felt that we bowl a bit on a shorter side, where else they have to get a bit more consistent of bowling a bit more up and using the bounce more, and they're young, so that's how they're gonna learn from these experiences. And even in batting, like taking the partnership more deep, wickets were a bit like seaming at start, but that's you expect when you come to New Zealand, and especially when it's overcast all the time, so you expect that's gonna come on your way.
Shikhar, do you feel now that the real build-up to the World Cup begins back in now to Bangladesh, where pitches will be a lot more similar to what you can expect in India for the tournament? Is this a case now of saying, all right, let's get on to full World Cup mode?
Yep, absolutely. In Bangladesh, all the seniors players going to be back in the side, and there it's going to be totally different side. So I'm sure from there, because it's going to be happening in India, so more Asian wickets going to be more practical towards journey towards towards World Cup. Yes.
What do you say as a leader to the younger players in the team? Maybe some of the guys who will now be returning to India won't be taking part in the Bangladesh series. What do you say to them in terms of keeping their motivation levels high?
Yeah, I tell them that it is important to pick up the detailings. Like every inch matters, right? So if we're talking to bowling unit, to understand that where to pitch, where you have to be consistent more, which length you have to bowl consistently. So those things simple but quite effective, and they're young, so of course they're learning to handle pressure as well. If suppose they're not able to bowl, or if they got for boundary but still coming back more quickly, so all those stuff, even for the batting unit as well. Yeah, so these stuff like on a seaming wicket, really playing close to your body, or coming up with plan B, so to still rotating the strike and putting the pressure back to the bowlers. Yeah.
A case in some ways of just carrying on doing the homework. But one thing it must have felt like sometimes being at home, so many of your fans here to watch you have turned up throughout the series, both the T20 series and this series. What would your message be to the fans who have turned up in some pretty terrible conditions for you?
Yeah, we feel very, very grateful, and they're always backing us, and it feels really good that they're always appreciating our effort, and because of them we get the stardom, so we're very, really grateful and happy, and sure we have been doing well, and we're going to make them more happy.
It's always a pleasure to have you on our shores. Thank you so much. And on behalf of all New Zealanders, sorry about our summer, but it does get better, we promise. So make sure you come back. Shikhar Dhawan. Thank you, sir. Kane Williamson joins us now. Kane, congratulations. It is a series win, and interesting, a strange series, but a series win nonetheless. And I know that's important to this team, isn't it?
When we've been playing cricket, it's been going reasonably well, and the team have applied themselves nicely. And obviously, the first game was a really good one, and obviously became series defining. However, even in the two rained-off matches, there was some really good stuff as well. So, a little bit odd to have so much rain throughout this little period, but we'll just keep looking at the cricket and keep trying to take steps forward.
Were you keen to stay out there just a little bit longer today to get to that 20 over mark?
Yeah. We knew obviously that 20 overs would constitute a match, and you could see the weather coming. So one of those things, isn't it? Sort of been following us around a bit for the last couple of weeks.
You made the decision to bowl Daryl Mitchell today. It turned out to be a very good decision. His career best figures in one-day international cricket. What was the concept behind that, the thinking behind using Mitchell today the way you did?
I just felt like the seam we're getting a bit out of the surface, and Daryl's been hanging out for a bowl for ages, so we thought now would be the time to bring him into the game, and he did a fantastic job into the wind, and obviously Adam Milne as well, a bit of a niggle there that he felt, and wanted to keep going, didn't want to stop, and obviously get stiff, so we were trying to get the most out of him, and he was outstanding in picking up